This video is created for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. All financial actions are your personal responsibility. Before you begin, make sure you understand the risks and are prepared for them. Hi, I'm Evelyn and I'm happy to see you here. Today I want to show you one of the methods I've been working with for many years. This isn't magic or a guessing game. It's a clear system that helps you calmly understand the situation and make decisions without unnecessary stress. When I was starting out, everything seemed chaotic. Too much data, confusing terms, and expert opinions that contradicted each other. Back then, I dreamt of a clear, friendly explanation that would help me grasp the core concepts without the pressure and the race. Now, I try to be that guide for others, to make it clear where to look, what to consider, and what you can ignore for now to save your energy. If you're interested in learning how to approach this topic calmly and consciously, stick around. We'll break everything down with real examples. When I was at the beginning of my journey, I really wanted a behind-the-scene look at how people who already knew what they were doing operated. I wanted to see their logic, their decisions, and understand what was important in the moment and what could be safely set aside. Now, in my community, I offer that exact opportunity. We analyze real situations in live conversational format. No lectures, no unnecessary hype, just examples and clear explanations. This approach helps you gradually build your own understanding without getting overwhelmed. You can just drop in and observe how everything works. It's a comfortable way to get involved, even for those who used to think it was too complicated. The link is in the description and in the first pinned comment. If you feel like this is for you, join now. And now let's get to the practical part. All right, I've got almost everything set up for today's session. I've selected the pairs and tools I'll be working with, Zigzag and Stochastic. They help me read the chart more clearly. Zigzag highlights key reversal points and filters out noise, while the Stochastic indicates moments when the market might be overheated or weakened. Together, they provide a cleaner view for analysis. All right, let's begin. Here we go. All right, looking at the first pair, I noticed that after a climb, there has been a gradual weakening. One of the indicators suggests a trend reversal. The lines have crossed and are now moving downward. Plus, the chart shows a downward move that overtook the previous upward leg, often an early sign of a sentiment shift. Based on these factors, I decided to go short. Great, let's keep going. I see the overall trend is still upward. There has been a pause and a small pullback within this trend. Below the current levels, there is a zone that has seen multiple reactions. Price hasn't been allowed to drop below. Stochastic is low and starting to turn upward. The lines are converging and shifting direction. This could be an early sign of a return to the main upward move. Based on that, I'm going long. So far, everything's logical, no emotions, and that's important. Let's see what we have here. I notice a zone where the price has reversed twice at the same level. The chart pattern resembles a double top, a classic formation that often signals a reversal. Looking at the Stochastic, the second touch of this zone shows lower peak values than the first. This divergence can signal weakening momentum. After a strong downward move appears, I decide to go short. All right, team, let's keep the momentum moving forward. Checking this one out. After a strong decline, I see a shift forming on the indicator. The first sign of a potential reversal appears, followed by a price shape with a noticeable lower wick. That may suggest the downward pressure is weakening. Based on that, I anticipate a possible move up. Let's stay sharp and keep the pace up. All right, looking at this pair. I spotted a divergence between the tool's direction and the chart's behavior. One indicator marks a top, but the other doesn't confirm it. Also, the oscillator line moved beyond the upper limit and has started to turn. A confident move downward is forming, and I decide to follow it. Nice, let's keep going, team. Do you know what many people say a couple of weeks after joining the community? It turns out you can do this without constant stress. That's exactly what I wanted to create, an environment where you don't have to gas, panic, or rush. You move at your own pace, watch how I work in real time, and understand every decision. I always explain what is happening on the chart and why. And I'm always available if something isn't clear. Want to see it all from the inside? Click the link in the description or the first pinned comment. You can just observe and take your first step. Let's see. No, let's stop right here. I see the move continues to follow a downward trajectory, confirmed by a new low on one of the indicators. Then a pullback begins, during which the other indicator breaks above the upper range. The chart returns to a previously marked zone. Considering this behavior, I expect the current trend to continue and open a trade in the same direction. Great when actions start to feel intuitive, but never switch off your brain. Let's keep going. Let's check this one. I see the price has been moving sideways in a range near a key area. Meanwhile, one of the indicators has been sitting in the upper zone for a while. When price breaks out above the marked level, the indicator pushes even higher into a zone that often signals overheating. Considering all this, I assume the breakout may not last. I go short. That one wasn't easy, but it played out well. Moving on, I noticed one of the indicators has stayed in the overbought area for a long time, a spot where reversals often occur. A pattern is forming on the chart that hints at weakening upward momentum. Then I see the indicators start to turn. That could be a sign of a shift. I choose to go short. All right, friends, let's do a couple more. Let's go here. I see we are approaching a key zone that's influenced price before. This moment, one of the indicators is deep in its lower range and starts turning upward. This kind of setup often becomes the starting point for an upward move. And now let's wrap things up. Okay, as expected, price dipped a bit, but the overall trend remains upward. I notice it approaching a key zone that has previously influenced behavior. The indicator is in the lower part of the range and starts to reverse. It fits the model I had in mind, so I decide to go long. Perfect! That brought a whole new energy to the session. Sometimes, to get unstuck, you just need to see that there's another way. If you're tired of going in circles and want to try an approach with structure, logic, and support, maybe this is that moment. In my community, we work with real situations, break them down step by step, and look at everything without unnecessary theory. I share my experience and observations in a way that's simple to understand and easy to apply. Check out the link in the description or in the first pinned comment. You can just take a look from the inside and feel if this format is right for you. Thanks for being here. Remember, one small step can lead to big changes. Bye for now. See you in the community.